This is a production of WKNO Memphis.
Woody and Me was made possible by the WKNO Partners in Excellence Fund, committed to presenting quality programming for Mid-South viewers, and also by WKNO members like you. Thank you.
In a way, we're all of us outsiders. You too, me, because that's life. But Woody Guthrie was the ultimate outsider. Even while he was part of the action, he was somewhere else watching. His best-known song would seem to prove just the opposite. But that's because hardly anybody knows the whole thing. They hardly sing the verses. Now, you're going to hear them now. To begin, here is the legendary singer and actress, Odetta.
This land is yours, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. As I went a walking that ribbon of the highway, I said your way, and I looked at my way, and all around me, a voice keeps saying, this land was made for you and me. Feel like singing it? This land is yours. This land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Now, right now, I'd like you to meet one of America's leading folk singers, Richie Havens.
Following my footsteps, oh, the sparkling sands down in the desert, and all around me a sound was sounding. I heard that voice. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Now we're going to meet one of our most perceptive and one of our most humorous Kentucky contemporary balladeers. Here is Tom Paxton.
When the sun came shining and I was strolling and the wheat fields waving, the the dust cloud rolling, as the fog was lifting, a voice was chanting, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me.
Now we're going to meet a young man who was born to genius and brought up in the heart of folk music. Here is Josh White Jr.
Thank you, thank you.
One bright sunny morning, in the shadow of the steeple, by the relief office, I saw my people as they stood there hungry. I stood there wondering if this land was made for you and me. Let's sing it again. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
There are a lot of other verses like that one. We're going to meet a young man now who knew Woody mighty well. And he sings most of his songs mighty well. Here is Rambling Jack Elliott.
Saw a big high wall there that tried to stop me. A sign was painted, said private property, but on the back side didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. Land is your land, this land is mine, from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me.
When I met Woody a long time ago, he was a puzzle. He could be gentle, he could be rock hard. He could be thoughtless, he could be caring. You know, like the rest of us. But I love the songs he wrote. Strong, they were hopeful. And that's what this last verse that he wrote always meant to me. Nobody living is gonna stop me, 'cause I'll keep on walking down my freedom highway. Nobody living will make me turn back, 'cause this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Woody Guthrie always recalled his childhood as happy times. He talked about them, sang about them, and wrote about them too.
My mother's name was Nora Bell Tanner, but she changed it to Nora Bell Guthrie. I was the third child in our family and heard my mother sing to my brother Roy and to my sister Clara. My father's name was Charles Edward Guthrie. and he had almost as much of the singing blood in him as Mama had.
They didn't sing much after the dust storms hit. Woody's father went broke. Sister Clara died in a stove explosion. The house burned down. Mother Guthrie went to the state asylum, probably afflicted with a family scourge, Huntington's chorea. And then the oil petered out, and Woody's birthplace, Okemah, Oklahoma, was halfway to rigor mortis.
There were handbills and posters all around inviting the Okies west to California. Woody joined the caravan of crippled old cars that ran more on memory than on gasoline. He couldn't help loving a country that had such broad, beautiful fields and rough-cut mountains, hot and unforgiving desert, had a strange beauty that he tried to put into song. It's a mighty hard road that my poor hands have hold. My poor feet has traveled a hard, dusty road. Out of your dust bowl and westward we rolled. Your deserts was hot and your mountains was cold. I worked in your orchards of peaches and prunes, slept on the ground by the light of your moon. At the edge of your cities, you'll see us, and then we come with the dust and we're gone with the wind. California, Arizona, I make all your crops. Then it's north up to Oregon to harvest your hops. Dig the beach from your grape, cut the grapes from your vine, to set on your table your light sparkling wine. Green pastures of plenty from dry desert ground, from the Grand Coulee Dam where the waters run down. Every state in this union us migrants has been. We're working this fight and we'll fight until we win. And it's always we've rambled this river and I. All along your green valleys I'll work till I die. And this land I'll defend with my life if need be. For my pastures plenty must always be free.
Woody sang in saloons for sandwiches. He slept in farms, abandoned farmhouses. He painted signs, he could do that, and drew cartoons. He did every odd job that he could promote. He said, I've been hoeing figs, I've been picking grapes, I've been hauling wood, I've been helping carpenters and cement men, working with well drillers and playing harmonica in barber shops and pool halls. He said, I rattle the bones. I done jig dances. I sang and I played with Negroes, with Indians, with whites, with farmers, town folks, truck drivers, and every kind of singer you could think of. Strangers like, say, the ladies of the evening who taught him some of their own songs. Odetta?
There is a house, New Orleans, they call her rising sun. Oh, it's been the ruin, many poor girls. Just look at me, honey, and I'm only one. If I had to listen what my mama said, I'd have been at home today. Being young, being foolish, I let my gamble lead me astray. My mama, she's a tailor. She sold your blue jeans when they were new. Oh, sweetheart, he's a drunkard, drinking down New Orleans. Tell my baby sister, don't do what I do. Shun that house in New Orleans. They call rising sun. There is a house in New
Woody sure covered a lot of ground. Latitude, longitude, and American songs. Love songs, game songs, weeping songs, and laughing songs. Jack, tell the good people what he said about his favorite kind of song. Go ahead.
The biggest and best thing you can sing about is work.
Songs where the very tune itself is set to the rhythm of a fast whistling train, or a steamboat lost in the fog, or an air hammer sucking wind. Woody sometimes complained about hard traveling, but I know it pleased him to meet a tough job and to make it a friend. I've been having some hard traveling, I thought you know. And I've been having some hard traveling way down the road. I've been having some hard traveling, hard rambling, hard gambling. I've been doing some hard traveling, Lord. I've been working at a hard rock mine, and I thought you knowed. I've been leaning on a pressure drill way down the road. Hammer flying, air hose sucking, 6 feet of mud, and the show been a mucking. And I've been doing some hard traveling, Lord. I've been working at Pittsburgh Steel, I thought you know. I've been working at Red Hot Slag way down the road. I've been blasting, I've been firing, I've been ducking at a red hot iron, and I've been having some hard traveling, Lord. I've been having some hard harvesting, I thought you know. I've been hitting some rough handling way down the road. Cutting that wheat, stacking that hay, trying to make about $1 a day. And I've been having some hard traveling, Lord. Well, I've been hitching that Lincoln Highway, I thought you know. I've been hitting that 66 way down the road. Heavy load in a worried mind, looking for a woman that's hard to find. I've been doing some hard traveling, Lord.
As far as anyone knows, and I guess that's the best truth there is, Woody was never prejudiced against anybody, except sometimes landlords, mortgage men, and officers of the law. But that was because they were prejudiced against him, you see, and he liked to keep the affair even. When his people got beaten up, for whatever the authorities felt beaten up was indicated, Woody fought back. He wasn't big, and he didn't work out, except for hard labor. But he could write, and nobody could beat him on that. Richie, you've been singing along with everybody else all this time, and it's very, very nice. But don't you think it's time for Vigilante Man?
It's always time for Vigilante Man. Have you seen that vigilante man? Have you seen that vigilante man? Have you seen vigilante man? I've heard his name all over this land. Tell me, what is a vigilante man? What is was a vigilante man. Man comes in, chases us out with a gun. Is that a vigilante man? Stormy days, he'd pass the time away. Oh, sleeping some warm place. Man comes in, we give him a little race. Was that a vigilante man? Why does a vigilante man why does a vigilante man carry that sawed-off shotgun in his hand? Was that a vigilante man? Tell me, what is a vigilante man? What is a vigilante man? Man comes in with a shotgun in his hand. Is that a vigilante man? Is that a vigilante man? Is that man?
Didn't take very long for Woody to decide that authority just was another word for injustice. I have to tell those of you who weren't here in those days that in most places authority was anti-worker, anti-union. And they worked anti-union with clubs and thugs, brass knuckles and guns. So Woody translated his anger into a song. For his melody, he took a favorite square dance tune called Red Wing that went, there once was an Indian maid, a lovely Indian maid, who sang all day a love song gay. She lay sitting in the Indian shade, she loved a warrior bold, this gay little maid of old. And then one day her warrior bold rode unto the fray. Oh, the moon shines down on pretty Red Wing as she lay sighing, the night wind's crying. Oh, the moon shines down on pretty Red Wing as she weeps her heart away. Well, that's the version that most of us learned here in the States. I come here from Canada, and in Manitoba, we sang a frontier version of that. I'll have to leave out a lot of the words, and those I leave in, I'm going to have to rewrite. I hope you'll excuse my frontier upbringing, but I promise you, it's one of the best anti-male sexist songs you've ever heard. There once was an Indian maid who always was afraid that some buckaroo would effect a coup as she lay sleeping in the Indian shade. She had an idea grand, filled her bucket up with sand, so no buckaroo would effect a coup and reach the promised land. Oh, the moon shone down on pretty Red Wing as she lay sleeping, a cowboy creeping. With his one good eye he was a-peeping. He hoped to reach the promised land. Well, he was a cowboy wise, and much to her surprise, with a holler and a hoot he went on a toot, and he made poor Red Wing open up her eyes. But when she come to life, she grabbed his bowie knife, and with one quick pass this Indian lass shortened his love life. Oh, the moon shines down on pretty Red Wing as she lay snoring, her trophies adoring. And no longer do the boys try scoring, and Red Wing's happy all her life. Now, let me tell you. Woody liked that song. He liked it. And he greatly admired the girl. You see, he admired all those courageous women who were among the first to form picket lines and challenge the power of big business. Anyway, he used that tune for one of his best-known Union songs. You probably know this anthem. There once was a Union maid who never was afraid of the goons and the ginks and the company finks and the deputy sheriffs that made the raid. She'd go to a Union hall when a meeting it was called, and when the Union boys come around, then she stood her ground. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. Try it. I'm sticking to the Union. Once again, I'm sticking to the Union. Can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union till the day I die. This Union maid was wise to the ways of company spies. She'd never get fooled by a company stool. She'd always organize the guys. She always got her way. When she asked for higher pay, she'd show her card to the National Guard, and this is what she'd say. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. Again, I'm sticking to the Union. Once more, I'm sticking to the Union. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union till the day I die. So, girls, if you want to be free, take a tip from me. Get yourself a man who's a Union man and join the ladies' auxiliary. Married life ain't hard if he's got a Union card. A Union man has a happy life if he's got him a Union wife. 'Cause you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union till the day I die. We didn't win them all. When we fought for women's rights, it lit up the angry sign for men who cherished their prerogatives. It was the same with Jim Crow. Duets in black and white weren't generally acceptable.
When I was small, I shared a lot of stage with Woody Guthrie, and that was considered in bad taste. Every song written and performed that challenged Jim Crow was labeled a Red Manifesto. You know, I remember my dad was asked to sing for a Democratic rally at network radio, and he chose a song that Woody favored. It was written by Yip Harburg and Earl Robinson. It caused a hell of a commotion. It went like this. I went down to that St. James Infirmary, and I saw some plasma there. I upped and asked the doctor man, now was the donor dark or fair? The doctor laughed, a great big laugh, and he puffed it right in my face. He said, a molecule is a molecule, son, and the damn thing has no race. And that was news, yes, that was news. That was very, very, very special news. 'Cause ever since that day we've had those free and equal blues. You mean you heard that doctor declare that the plasma in that test tube could be a white man, black man, yellow man, red? That's just what that doctor said. Then he put down his doctor book and gave me a very scientific look, and he spoke out plain and clear and rational. He said, metabolism is international. And that was news. Yes, that was news. That was very, very, very special news. 'Cause ever since that day we've had those free and equal blues. Then he rigged his microscope up with some royal blue blood. It was the same as Chungking, Quiver-Shep, Chattanooga, Timbuktu blood. Those men who think they're noble and don't know their corpuscles are global, initiating racial supremacy and flying in the face of old man chemistry and taking all the facts and trying to twist them. But you can't overthrow the circulatory system. And that was news. Yes, that was news. That was very, very, very special news. 'Cause ever since that day we've had those free and equal blues. So I stayed at that St. James Infirmary. I couldn't leave that place, it was too interesting. So I says to the doc, give me some more of that scientific talk, and he did. He said, melt yourself down into a crucible and pour yourself out into a test tube, and what have you got? 3,500 cubic feet of gas. That's the same for the upper and lower class. Well, I had to let that pass. Carbon, 22 pounds, 10 ounces. Iron, 57 grains. Not enough to keep a man in chains. 50 ounces of phosphorus, whether you're poor or prosperous. Hey, buddy, can you spare a match? Sugar, 60 ordinary lumps, free and equal rations for all nations. Then you take 22 teaspoons of sodium chloride, that's salt. You add 38 quarts of H2O, that's water. You mix 2 ounces of lime, a pinch per quart of potash, a drop of magnesia and a bit of sulfur, and a soup of hydrochloric acid, and you stir it all up, and what are you? A walking drugstore. An international metabolistic cartel. And that was news, yes, that was news. So listen, you African and Indian and Mexican, Mongolian, Tyrolean and Tartar. The doctor's right behind the Atlantic Charter. the docks behind the new brotherhood of man, as prescribed at Gettysburg, Iwo Jima, at Bull Run, and at Guadalcanal. Every man, everywhere is the same when he's got his skin off. And that was news, yes, that was news. That's the free and equal blues.
Woody once wrote, "I hate a song that makes you think you're not any good. I'm out to sing songs that will prove to you that this is your world, that make you take pride in yourself and your work." The subtext of Woody Guthrie's music was always freedom.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I'd be a slave, I'd be buried in my grave. I go home to my Lord and be free. No more mourning, no more mourning, no more mourning over me. And before I'd be a slave, I'd be buried in my grave. Go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And therefore I'd be a slave, I'd be buried in my grave. I go home to my Lord and be. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Go with me to that land. Go with me to that land where I'm bound. There's no kneeling in that land. There's no kneeling in that land. Oh, no kneeling in that land where I'm bound. There's no kneeling in that ask my brother, won't you come with me? I'm gonna ask my sister, won't you come with me? I'm gonna ask my brothers and sisters, go with me. I'm on my way, great God, on my way. I'm gonna ask the captain, won't you let me go? I'm gonna ask the captain, well, won't you let me go? I'm gonna ask the captain, I want you to let me go. I'm on my way, great God, on my way. If he say no, gonna go anyhow. If he say no, gonna go anyhow. And if he say no, I gotta go anyhow. I'm on my way, great God, on my way. I'm on my way, and I won't turn back. On my way, and I won't turn back. I'm on my way, and I won't turn back. I'm on my way, great God, on my way.
Woody was bound for stardom, getting a big and enthusiastic audience, apart from the dedicated left-wingers. He wrote a column for the People's World called Woody Says, with a style that bordered on the hillbilly, but was always on the side of good taste. Jack?
I spent some few years in the Texas Panhandle where the wheat grows and the oil flows and the dust blows and the farmer owes. The dust is so thick in Oklahoma that the farmers had to run their plows upside down. Went to church and they all sang "Stand Up for Jesus." Then I went to the ball game and they all yelled, "Sit down for Christ's sake." I'm wondering. I'm wondering whether the Lord wants me to stand up or sit down.
He practiced his song introductions until they were sharper than his usual spontaneous presentations, which were pretty damn good. And his songs and talkin' blues made audiences laugh and applaud, and sometimes even think.
I went down to the fishing hole, carried along my fishing pole. Something got my hook and grabbed my bait, jerked me out in the middle of the lake. Some jump. I got sunk, baptized on the credit. Sitting down in a muddy bank and I felt a pull and I give a big yank and I jerked out 2 old rubber boots and a Ford radiator in a Chevrolet coupe. Handed them in for national defense. You go fishing, I'll tell you what to do. Just sit right down in the grassy dew. Take a piece of string and tie it on your pole and throw it way out in the middle of the hole. Just find your good shade tree and sit down, go to sleep, forget all about it. I was sitting in the boat with a bucket of beer and I hadn't caught nothing. I didn't much care. I guess I was pretty well satisfied to have a little lady right by my side, taking it easy. Worm been gone off that hook for a couple hours. Jumped in the river and I went down deep. There's a 100-pound catfish laying there, sleeping. Jumped on his back, I rode him into town, saddled him up, and then I turned around. Folks coming running, dogs barking, kids looking. Early one morning, it took me a notion to go out fishing in the middle of the ocean, and I caught myself a great big shark. Didn't get him home till way past dark. He's a man-eater, tough customer, just wasn't quite tough enough. Late last night I had me a dream. I was out fishing in the whiskey stream and I baited my hook with Applejack. Throw out a drink, bring a gallon back. Done pretty good till the stream run dry. So I give the fish back to the finance company.
Folk songs and folk-type songs were becoming popular. The music that had almost been a sideline for Woody became his profession. He went out on a rambling tour with some of his friends, some people he'd met in New York City, Pete Seeger, Lee Hayes, Millard Lampell, called themselves the Almanac Singers. They even recorded some of their songs. And he sang on radio, sang hundreds of concerts. And then he was hired by the U.S. Department of the Interior for the Bonneville Power Administration to write one of his finest damn songs. There's a lyric soaring in the melody of Leadbelly's Goodnight Irene. Tom, do you have the key?
Green Douglas firs where the waters cut through. Down the wild mountains and canyons she flew. Canadian Northwest to the ocean so blue. Roll on, Columbia, roll on.
Try it now, Tom.
Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Your power is turning our darkness to dawn. So roll on, Columbia, roll on.
Other great rivers add power to you. Yakima, Snake, and the Klickitat too. Sandy, Willamette, and the Hood River too. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Your power is turning our darkness to dawn. Roll on, Columbia, roll on.
Tom Jefferson's vision would not let him rest. An empire he saw in the Pacific Northwest. St. Louis and Clark, they did the rest. So roll on, Columbia, roll on. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Your power is turning our darkness to dawn. So roll on, Columbia, roll on.
At Bonneville now there are ships in the locks. The waters have risen and cleared all the rocks. Shiploads are plenty on steam past the docks. Roll on, Columbia, roll on.
Power is turning our darkness to dawn. Roll on,
on the river is the Grand Coulee Dam, the mightiest thing ever built by man, to run the great factories and water the land. So roll on, Columbia, roll on. Everybody was fascinated by Woody, truly. In particular, a little Martha Graham dancer he called my Graham cookie, Graham cracker, he said. Her name was Margie Mazia. He was encouraged by Margie, and he started writing a book about his travels. And he could assemble words like a bricklayer creates a playhouse by just putting the right brick on the right mortar. Now, Margie's mother, Eliza Greenblatt, accepted Woody right away. His father was a little more difficult, and she was very nice about it because he kept rewriting her poetry. Isidore Greenblatt, Margie's father, was a Zionist, and he was much harder to please. So Woody immediately wrote him a whole bag of new songs, including this one. And by the way, this comes from an old song from right around here that went, you get a line and I'll get a pole, honey. You get a line, I'll get a pole, baby. You get a line and I'll get a pole, and we'll go down to the crawdad hole, honey, sugar baby of mine. And Woody wrote, how many latkes can you eat on Hanukkah? How many latkes can you eat on Hanukkah? How many latkes can you eat? 3 times 3 and 4 times 8 on Hanukkah. Good Lord, it is Hanukkah. How many pretty girls can you kiss on Hanukkah? Hanukkah. How many pretty girls can you kiss on Hanukkah? Hanukkah. How many pretty girls can you kiss? There's not a one I'd care to miss on Hanukkah. Good Lord, it is Hanukkah. Now, how many dances can you do on Hanukkah? How many dances can you do on Hanukkah? How many dances can you do? The boogie and the Lindy and the horror too on Hanukkah. Good Lord, it is Hanukkah. How many stories can you tell on Hanukkah? How many stories can you tell on Hanukkah? How many stories can you tell? I've only known one and I know it well, it's Hanukkah. Good Lord, it is Hanukkah. Great God, it is Hanukkah. Poor boy, it is Hanukkah. Tell you. When Woody's book Bound for Glory finally came out, the New York Times Book Review said, Woody Guthrie is on fire inside, a natural-born poet. The other critics were even more effusive, and the book was a big hit. He was 30 years old, in love, and the Allies were winning World War II. He was on the road with the Almanac Singers when a boat sank the destroyer, the Reuben James. And with the help of Millard Lampell and Peter Seeger, 2 of the Almanacs, Woody wrote a song, a new song. Then, with his close friend Cisco Houston, he joined the Merchant Marine. He had 2 ships sunk under him. Jim Longy, who was another friend, the 3 were kind of inseparable, told me one night that Woody and Cisco saved his life when they fought their way down into a blazing hold and dragged him up to the surface. You know, Woody never mentioned it to anybody, none that I know of. Longy told me. He was willing to let his songs speak for him, especially the song about that destroyer, Reuben James. Have you heard of a ship called the Good Reuben James? Manned by hard-fighting men, both of honor and of fame. How she flew the stars and stripes of the land of the free, but tonight she's in her grave at the bottom of the sea. Tell me what were their names, tell me what were their names. Did you have a friend on the Good Reuben James? Tell me what were their names, tell me what were their names. Did you have a friend on the Good Reuben James? It was there in the dark of that uncertain night that we watched for the U-boat and waited for the light. Then a whine and a roar, yes, a big explosion roared, and it laid the Reuben James on the cold ocean floor. Tell me what were their names, tell me what were their names. Did you have a friend on the Good Reuben James? What were their names? Tell me what were their names. Did you have a friend on the Good Reuben James? Now tonight there are lights in our country so bright. In the farms and in the cities they're telling of the fight. And now our mighty battleships steam the bounding main, and we remember the name of the Good Reuben James. Tell me what were their names, tell me what were their names. Did you have a friend on the Good Reuben James? Tell me what were their names, tell me what were their names. Did you have a friend on the Good Reuben James? Peace was in sight, finally. Remember, it was a democratic peace, a lasting peace, an end to war forever.
I'm just a lonesome traveler, great historical bum. I'm highly educated, from history I come. I built the Rock of Ages, 'twas in the year of one, and that's about the biggest thing that man has ever done.
We've never been so close before. I was straw boss on the pyramids, the Tower of Babel too. I opened up the Red Sea to let the Hebrew children through. I fought 1,000,000 generals and I beat them every one. And that's about the biggest thing that man has ever done.
Thank you very much. I was in the revolution when we set the country free. Had a couple of Indians, we dumped the Boston Tea. We won the Battle of Valley Forge, the Battle of Bully Run, and that's about the biggest thing that man has ever done.
There's a man across the ocean, I guess you know him well. His name was Adolf Hitler, God damn, he sold to hell. We'll kick him in the panzers and we'll put him on the run, and that'll be the biggest thing that man has ever done. We'd better stop our talking, 'cause we told you all we know. But just remember, partner, wherever you may go, we're gonna build a better world without a bomb or gun, and that'll be the biggest thing that man has ever done. And that'll be the biggest thing that man has ever done. Folk music fever was becoming an epidemic, and Woody was one of the causes of the contagion. He and Margie got married, and they had a little boy they named Arlo Guthrie. So Woody began to write little songs for Arlo like, "Good night, little Arlo, good night. Good night, little Arlo, good night. Played all day, now sleepy, sleep tight. Good night, little Arlo, good night. If it sounds like Roland Columbia or Good Night Irene, he only picked the best melodies. Now they were going to need babysitters, so they moved to Coney Island in Brooklyn, New York, where Margie's parents lived. Woody wrote, he wrote this one thing. I'm living in Coney Island till I die, die, die. I'm living in Coney Island till I die, die, die. I'm living in Coney Island till I die, die, die. I'm living in Coney Island till I die. Where waters rise and waters fall, I'll kiss all the girls both short and tall. I'm living in Coney Island till I die. Let me tell you, Arlo's bar mitzvah was a miracle of music. The rabbi was Meir Kahana. He sang and he danced, and we all clapped our hands. You know, Arlo told me years later that it was one of the worst days of his life. He says, it was supposed to be my day, and nobody was even noticing me. You were all in the corner singing. But we all did notice that Woody was drinking heavily and smoking a lot, and his fingers were trembling. So we thought it was the whiskey, but it was that Huntington's chorea, the curse of the Guthrie family. His mood became kind of darker, his speech a little disorderly. You know, he was thinking straight, but it wasn't coming out right. And he was easy to anger, which wasn't always true in the past. He seemed to get a little better when a poem that he had written in the past turned up to be a popular song. It was recorded by some of his favorite performers. He wrote it when he read about a plane crash, a plane full of migrant farm workers. I still think it was one of his finest songs.
The crops are all in, the peaches are rotting, the oranges piled high in their creosote dumps. They're flying them back to the Mexico border to pay all their money to wade back again. Goodbye to you, Juan, goodbye, Rosalita. Adios, mi amigos, Jesus and Maria. You won't have a name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be deportee. My father's own fathers, he waded that river, took all the money he made in his life. My brothers and sisters come working the fruit trees. They rode the truck till they took down and died. Goodbye to my Juan, goodbye, Rosalita. Adios, mi amigos, Jesus and Maria. You won't have a name when you ride a big airplane. All they will call you will be deportees. Some of us are illegal, some are not wanted. Our work contract's up and we've got to move on. 600 miles to that Mexico border. They chase us like outlaws, like rustlers, like thieves. Goodbye to my Juan, goodbye, Rosalita. Adios, mi amigos, Jesus and Maria. Won't have a name when you ride a big airplane. All they will call you will be deportees. The sky plane caught fire over Los Gatos Canyon. Fireball of lightning that shook all our hills. Who are all these friends all scattered like dry leaves? The radio said they were just deportees. Goodbye to my Juan, goodbye, Rosalita. Adios, mi amigos, Jesus and Maria. Won't have a name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be deportees. Is this the best way we can grow our big orchards? Is this the best way we can grow our good fruit? To fall like dry leaves to rot on our farmlands and be called by no name except deportees. Goodbye to my wife, goodbye Rosalita. Adios, mi amigos, Jesus and Maria. Won't have a name when you ride a big airplane. All they will call you will be deportees.
Thank you. Woody and Margie got a divorce because she had enough to do taking care of her other children, she said. And Woody started moving from place to place like a firewalker. Even married again to a girl named Annika Marshall, a pretty young girl for whom he was a legendary hero. He kept singing defiantly, refusing to believe he could be beaten by an almost unknown disease.
He was a man and a friend always, stuck with me in the hard old days. Never cared, never had no dough, rambled around in the rain and snow. And here's to you, my rambling boy, may all your rambling bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy, may all your rambling bring you joy. In Tulsa town we chanced to stray, thought we'd try to work one day. Boss said he had room for one. Says my old pal, we'd rather pump. And here's to you, my rambling boy, may all your rambling bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy, may all your rambling bring you joy. Late one night in a hobo camp, the weather it was cold and damp. He got the chills and they got him bad, and they took the only friend I had. And here's to you, my rambling boy, may all your rambling bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy, may all your rambling bring you joy. He left me here to ramble on. My rambling pal is dead and gone. If when we die we go somewhere, I bet you $1 he's rambling there. And here's to you, my rambling boy, may all your rambling bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy, may all your rambling bring you joy.
Woody grew weaker and weaker and less able to respond. They checked him into one hospital and then another one. Admirers came. They came to claim a little reflection of his glory. Margie would bring the kids. I would bring him Barricini chocolates. Make sure to mention his name on my radio show every week because I knew that he was listening. When Bob Dylan's song, I Shall Be Released, came out, we all of us felt that it was really dedicated to Woody.
I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, I shall be released. There you go. Saying everything can be replaced. Every distance is not near, but I remember every face of every man that quit me here. Do it again, do it again, do it again. I see my light, here we go, come shining from the west down to the east, from the west down to the east. Any day, any day, any day, any day now, say it again. Any day now I shall be released. Say every man needs protection. Every man has got to fall. Yet I swear I see my reflection somewhere high above this wall. Sing again with the people. I see my light, oh yeah, come shining from the west down to the east, from the west down to the east. Any day, any day, any day, any day now, any day now, I shall be released. There stands a man in this lonely crowd, crying out, he's not to blame. All day long I hear him crying out so very, very, very loud, crying out that he was framed. Here we go, people, now I see my light. Let me hear you come shining from the west down to the east, from the west down to the east. Any day, any day, any day, any day now, say yeah. Any day now, I shall be released. Do it again, do it again, do it again now. I see my light, sound good, come shining from the west down to the east, from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, any day now, I shall be released. Just the voices now. I see my light come shining, whoa, yeah, from the west down to the east. Say it again, keep saying it. Any day now, I shall be released. Last time, people, do it now. I see my light come shining, whoa, yeah, from the west down to the east. Follow me, slowing up now. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released.
You know, in his illness, Woody became even more the outsider, watching, observing, always understanding, though. He still had that gift. And it was our gift, too, you see, because he shared it with us in his songs, in his poetry, in his books, and in his children, too. Look, I know Woody. He drank like a boatman. He smoked like a volcano. He was marvelously imperfect. But he was a song leader for all humanity. And unlike so many others, he kept true to that last verse of his best-known anthem, the one we heard right at the beginning. Nobody living is gonna stop me as I go walking down that freedom highway. Nobody living can make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. That's all right, come on. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Tell 'em.
The fog was lifting and I was strolling, wheat fields waving, dust clouds rolling, and storm clouds building. A voice come chanting, this land was made for you and me.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Woody and Me was made possible by the WKNO Partners in Excellence Fund, committed to presenting quality programming for Mid-South viewers, and also by WKNO members like you. Thank you.